Welcome back, everyone, to a cast of players, the Chronicles of Valtor, as we kick off this campaign in full swing and earnest. For you have entered Arc 1 of the campaign of what is known as making a name for yourselves.
Oh.
So, you join us 4 days having passed since the end of their expedition into the Arlais Pass, the agreement between our 4 adventurers to work together for their mutual benefit having come to a conclusion, and they did decide to travel to Talron to receive the payment from the Ferrand family. So 50 gold pieces, 50 gold pieces, 50 gold pieces, 10 gold pieces, because that's what your contract says. Over here.
Poor negotiation.
Although you did get the feeling that they were not too happy to be parting with their gold, but contract is a contract, regardless of whether they agreed with it or not.
And it was legal.
We'll see. And following the advice of the Band of Cass, you have arrived at the town of Traistan, port city on the eastern side of the kingdom of Nemos.
It looks very nice, I must say.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like
Great.
it's
like
quite pleasant.
A pleasant Cornish seaside town.
Yeah.
I'd like to
I
go
might
there on my
retire
holidays.
here.
I mean, you might not. You might retire at the bottom of a cave, dead and broken, when the DM is done with you all.
How unpleasant.
Until that time, you hear that water laps up the side of the docks, the morning sun bearing down on the tables and chairs that are laid out for the cafes along the promenade. Servers move between the coffee drinkers and pastry consumers of the morning, and one eye of their companions is on the boats and ships that drift gently up and down in the harbour. The other keeping an eye on the large, bare notice board that stands on the end of the dock. The Valos morning market here in the town of Traistan is setting up. Fishmongers unloading the morning catch, farmers from the Duchen farmsteads to the north, setting out ripe fruits and vegetables to the tender. Cattle and swine are being corralled into pens, ready to sell on to the highest bidder. An old man begins to approach the large notice board, a small leather messenger's bag over his shoulder. He is flanked by 2 much larger, armed men, faces glowering as people begin to shift in their chairs, and he heads towards the notice board. Now, no one is getting up at this stage as he begins to move forward. He slowly swings the bag around, unfurls it, and one by one begins to very slowly pin notices to the board. No one else is making a move at this point. What would you like to do?
Yeah, Dorian looks to you all, puts his head up and springs up and immediately goes right to the board.
Are you going up to the... So, okay, so as you get to the board, one of the men is, hold your horses, sunshine. They all need to be up, and everyone has to have a fair share at getting up. No line skipping.
Line skipping. I look around.
Exactly.
I don't see any other warriors around here.
That's because they know the drill. They wait. Go and sit down.
As I come and sit back, I don't think he got it.
Moves back, like, pulls his shoulders back and puffs his chest out. Slowly, the man looks at the notice board. Looks into his bag. Closes. He turns around, looks at the assembled people, nods. The 2 large men step to one side, and there is a burst of motion. People left, right, center, getting up, moving over to this little dock to try and get the choicest of jobs.
Well, I also join in.
Cool. Who is getting up to go over to the docks in that regard? So you 3 have said so, but how are you going to go? Are you going fast? Are you going to go and form an orderly queue? There's already a few people in front of you, ahead of you. You see that there's a bit of like jostling around and people, like shrugging shoulders, but the 2 large men are trying to sort of corral people into single file, but there is opportunity for you to sneak in if you want to try your luck.
I'm looking around.
Where is the signboard, sorry?
Right at the end of the pier there.
Okay, yeah. So where those people are, okay.
Shall I put us over there?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. I'm on the lookout, strangely, and you see that as odd. I'm looking out for someone or something.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and blister my way through. crowd.
Okay. Could you all make a acrobatics check just to see if you
Ooh.
kind of like worm your way through the crowd?
13?
12.
12.
And 11.
Whilst all this is going on, there's people that are moving in, trying to sort of just budging each other out the way, moving. You know, there's a few that are trying to sneak past these guys, just being like, yeah, they're like back of the line now. You, as you're trying to get up, it's like, you know when everyone tries to get up from the table at the same time? It's like that, and everyone's like pushed their chairs out and gotten up, and you've just kind of hit your knee. Everyone else has made it and is working their way through the crowd, but hasn't quite like edged their way ahead of anyone. But eventually you do reach the notice board. Could you all roll an initiative test for me, just to see who got there first? You will be at disadvantage, I'm afraid, Gregor.
That's okay. Oh, hello. I rolled a 19.
With
What-
disadvantage?
Oh, with
You
disadvantage.
hit your knee.
A 5.
Oh.
15.
15?
Or 21. I told you I was there first.
You were indeed there first, yeah. You give a little wink to one of the guardsmen as he's just like, one notice per group, and he sort of looks at you and looks
Dorian
out.
doesn't even acknowledge him. It's just like, it's just very busy. Just reading the information.
There are 5 little notices that catch your eye. There's one which says, no word from brother. You don't have time to
read them, right?
Like one of like the old man's pulls out, like he's like got a little pocket watch, sort of, you know, and you've noticed that as people are up there, he's sort of tapping at them if they're taking too long.
What's the etiquette? You take a notice.
You take a notice, and
Then
then
that's your-
and that's it. That's your group's done.
Okay.
No word from missing brother, jewellery stolen, dragon hunters wanted, missing children, or a very cryptic help wanted. Which one takes your fancy?
Well, you said which one takes my fancy. Yeah. Well, a couple take my fancy.
Which one?
So I immediately go for the children.
Okay,
And I take that.
okay.
Where is Acacia?
You rolled
I
a...
was second. I rolled
Yeah,
a.
so you are
yeah.
just behind, but the group have clocked that you three are together because you've gotten up from the same table and are over together. So
Am I still rubbing my knee by the
When
table?
you say 3, all of us, they've clocked that all of us are together?
yeah, they have.
Right, damn, that was my plan. Do I feel that I might have the opportunity to snap another one?
You will need to make a series of checks for me if you want to.
Ooh.
There is an opportunity, but it will require some very, very sneakiness.
Right, I'm going to do some. All of a sudden, you see Dorian stumble, and it's quite funny. It's a bit of a comedic sort of Laurel and Hardy moment where he slips on something. I mean, it is a wet pee after all.
Yeah,
So he
sure.
slips as he attempts to take one of the
Okay.
bits of paper. He then stumbles and balances himself and manages to slip again in a very comedic, almost theatrical.
Could you make a performance
Display.
check for me, please?
That is
And then an immediate deception check.
+7 on performance.
7.
Nice. That's 15.
Okay, and I need a deception check.
That's 8.
An 8.
Yes. 15 followed by an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you topple and it's and the old man just raises an eyebrow at you.
I suddenly stabilise myself on the board. Now, what's happened during that is I've already taken the missing children's letter. And I go, right, now, excuse me. And then I take the dragon hunters wanted.
Okay. Could you make a perception check to see whether you do indeed grab that one?
You want me to, perception, did you
Perception.
say?
Remember where it was on the board?
17.
Okay. I need you to make a stealth check to see how good you were at trying to hide the
The other one.
the taking. Yeah.
That would be, did you say a stealth check or a sleight of hand
and
check?
then I will be wanting a sleight of hand check to see whether you can pocket it with no one seeing.
Got it. So
Oh, forgive
10.
me. Okay, I tell you what. You can do sleight of hand first to take it, and a stealth to pocket it.
Okay, so 10.
Okay, and then a stealth.
21.
I rolled very high as well, but
I got 21.
he is an old man. You, despite your stumble, he He looks at you with the eyebrow raised. He doesn't see you take the dragon hunters. You did manage to see that it was the dragon hunters. You've managed to take it off with no one noticing, at least no one up here noticing, and you have pocketed it.
And I the big fella which had stopped me going forward, I say, listen, big fella, you want to get a brush and get the water off this pier? Terribly dangerous around here. You wouldn't want one of these warriors to take a fall. Least of all yourself. Big fella ain't getting out of that water anytime soon. I just walk off past it.
And you walk off past, and as you two try and go in, they're like, he's already got your job. Sling it.
Whereas I'm just rubbing my knee by the table.
Never even left.
I'll just slyly follow behind you, having heard your insult. Like, ooh.
So you have obtained the 2 jobs. Which one would you like to hear about first?
Dorian immediately reads the missing children.
Okay. It's a simple notice, handwritten. You can tell that, and you remember from being up there, you know that these are all written by different people. It's a job posting. And it says, children missing since Sulos, please help. My son and daughter have been missing for over 2 days now, and the town guard have still not mustered up a force to search for them. Please, someone has to help me. We don't have much, but we will offer what we can. I'm here at the docks at Cafe Sunrise, so no more time is wasted. Please help.
Yeah, so I read that out. I have to do this job. Hopefully you will join me. I don't know what she's going to offer money-wise, but I can't be leaving kids out there lost.
Well, doing something on the correct side of the law certainly couldn't be too much of a bad idea, given how the end of our last escapade went down. Perhaps we can just do some general adventuring for once.
Seems like a noble pursuit.
Are you feeling all right?
I banged my knee very hard.
Well, after we find the kids, I have a little something else. And I put out the second notice, and I read that.
So the dragon hunters. This one is much more scrawled, like almost written by a madman. Dragons spotted making nest in the Ochred forest. The damn college doesn't believe me, but I know what I saw. We need to gather a whole crew and hunt the blasted thing down before it gets larger and hungrier. And the words are getting larger and larger as it's being written. First it'll come for the sheep, then for the cows, and then for the whole town, and your kids, and your cats, and everything. And it just trails off. It's actually quite ranty. And then bring everyone you can to the southern gate, and we will kill the beast before it's too late.
Have you just read this out?
Yeah.
Right.
Dorian reads it in that before.
Mad as a box of frogs.
A dragon?
Well, look, I had to think quickly, and I thought a dragon would bring us some...
Well,
Are you kidding? A dragon?
dragons are normally guarding treasure.
It's a dragon!
But you're very stealthy. We can send you in with your cat, get the gold, back out again.
Listen, I'm
We
looking
have knives!
looking for more stories to add to my saga.
A story it would be.
A dragon is a story.
I don't know if I can stab a dragon.
Does it say how big this dragon is?
It wouldn't be a big dragon, otherwise he wouldn't have gotten away.
Yes, I suppose so. I suppose if we do go, if it does look a little on the large side, I suppose we could just turn around and head back, aren't we? Are we obliged to slay the dragon, or is this more of a request?
Well, the job postings are, so you've asked around since you've been here, the job postings are written by members of the citizenry, not just those in Traistan, but also in some of the surrounding smaller villages and farmsteads. They're looking for help for all kinds of different jobs.
But they don't put money on. There's no payment.
They don't know. And given the fact that these have been put up by what appears to be some sort of arrangement, there's clearly a middleman going on here. Looking back over at the board, you can actually see someone is arguing with the old man and his bodyguards. You can make the faint hearings of there should be enough jobs for everyone. That's what we've been promised. We're always promised a job for everyone. It doesn't matter how big, how small, there's always one for everyone. And the old man's just like, you can't make out the full depth of his reply, but you can see the two guard getting a bit uncomfortable.
It's not my problem. Anyway, should we go and see the mother about her kids?
Yes, I don't see why not.
That sounds better than a dragon.
Let me quickly nip into that tavern.
You head into the tavern.
While I'm in the tavern, I'm there for a little bit. I'm talking to some people.
Tavern, small seaside cafe.
Seaside cafe.
Yeah.
I'm talking to someone. You just sort of hear me talking like, what is he doing? Why has he wandered off? And as I leave the tavern, I have quite a sizable package under my arm, and I just rejoin the group. Sorry about that. Anyway, on we go.
Wait a minute, what have you got there?
Oh, don't worry about this. It'll help. It will be more helpful later. Just go on, meet the mother.
Where did you get it from?
A very dear friend of mine has sent it to me to help with our general adventuring.
How big is it?
Sort of this big, like in like a burlap sack, tied with a bit of rope. Has a note.
I'm going to need to insist you show us what's in the sack.
Okay, I wanted to wait till camp. Can I go to a table? It's quite heavy.
Oh, well, yes. It's very intriguing, you see. I'm very impatient.
I wander over to the nearest table, probably either in the cafe or just outside, wherever there's like a sizable table. I put it down on the table, untie it and roll it out. And it's essentially two giant metal barrels, almost the other half of a rifle. Not the shooting end, not the trigger end, just the barrels. On the top there's a small circular, you could put something in it, and it's got sort of these runes around where you would put something in it. I've got two pistols on me, but I've only ever used the one. So I take one off my back, insert it into where the two iron barrels are, and then do something very strange. So take off my hat, pull away my eye patch, and go and pull out what looks to be an eye, but is almost like a crystal, and pop it into the top of this barrel, and the whole thing starts humming. And
I take a few steps back from this contraption.
And then I whisper, "Careful, girl, this is all okay." And then I put a strap on it, sling it around my back, and then go, "Right, shall we continue?" Eye patch back over the hole, hat on.
What did you just do?
Where the bloody hell did that come from?
It's from my friend Jorik Fuzzy Bells. He's an excellent gnomish inventor. I've been running for him for some time. He makes all of my trinkets, all of my good stuff. It's why I'm such a good mercenary. He makes all this stuff for me. I've realized, given the sort of severity of what happened last time, we might need a bit more firepower. So this, everyone, is Bertha. Any questions, or shall we continue?
Dorian takes out his scroll and starts scribbling some notes for his ongoing stories.
Now, hang on a minute. But are you au fait with using that?
It's very sizable. It's for our direst needs. But last time I felt I didn't really have enough firepower out of my simple pistol. I wanted a bit more, and this certainly will deliver.
Well, it's marvelous. It's very, very nice and shiny.
No one else will touch it, or I will shoot you. Understood?
Okay.
Answers only to me. Be very kind to Bertha, and she'll be kind to you in turn. Anyway, onward. Swing it around my pack. Hat back on.
Puts his scroll away, back into his pack. Shall we?
Yes, let's carry on.
Incredible. I have no notes. So mechanically, everyone, you are level 3.
Yes.
So this becomes relevant later. As you say, if you treat Bertha right, she'll treat you right. So you turn towards Cafe Sunrise, which is close to the notice board already, and you see a solitary figure seated at a table with the other patrons milling around you, arguing with each other as to the usefulness of the work that they have obtained. This woman is wearing a plain brown dress with a white undershirt. Her black hair is loose down her shoulders. You can see it's somewhat unkempt. Her skin is quite fair but weather-beaten, and then she's got bags under her eyes. She's clearly had maybe a few hours of sleep, if any at all. She nurses a pot of tea in front of her, but her focus seems to be towards the notice board. And as you turn to look at her, she catches your gaze, and you can catch a glimmer of hope crossing her eyes as she shifts forward and raises a tentative hand as you head towards her. She tries to compose herself as much as you can, but you can tell that she's putting on a brave face. She gestures somewhat shakily to the table. Hello, please, I presume you're here for the work?
Yes.
My name is Elle Marshfeld. She starts rummaging around. I suppose you want to know the details of payment before we begin?
Yeah.
I think that's how these things work. She unhitches a small purse from her sides. She places it on the table. As she opens it, it's maybe a stack, maybe 10 gold pieces at absolute most. It's not much, but I have more. I promise. I just need to get to the bank, and but this is all I have for an upfront payment.
Don't worry about that for the moment. Tell us what you know.
Well, it was two days ago. Jenna, my eldest, she's 10. She's like a small version of me, really. Black hair. A bit. Peter, he's only 7. They said that they were going to the market square. I mean, they've gone before. We don't live far from it, so I don't think anything of it. They said they were going to play with their friends there, and they usually do. The schools are closed for all the summer fests, and they often head down there. And I have to work, and they've always been fine before, and I don't really. And you can see she's like pulling at sort of strands of hair. And she sort of trails off. Says, I'm not sure why they were there. I mean, they said about the friends. She starts repeating herself. Just
When were they due back?
it would have been on the days. I mean, it was just for the day. I mean, it's summer. You know, it doesn't get dark.
We'll do everything we can to find them. Believe me. But I need you to answer some questions clearly for me. When they left, how long was it until you realised that they weren't coming back?
That evening, they're usually very punctual for dinner.
Okay. And what was that? They were out for a few hours?
They were out nearly all day, maybe 10, and then it was around about 7 without any sight. And I just assumed they'd got caught up in their games or pestering Mr. Cromwell. They like to pester Mr. Cromwell, the poor,
Right, I stopped
the poor
writing
man.
these names down. Did they say which friends they were going to meet?
It's probably Olivia. That's Jenna's best friend, and Peter, bless him, he just tags along. I think.
Do you know where they live? Can you tell us?
Oh, they live just near the market square as well, but I imagine they'll be there today. It's where all the children.
Write all of that down.
She's bright red hair, big green eyes. She's very loud. Jenna's the complete opposite. Olivia's like a little ringleader.
Ringleader.
Well, she always pushes them to pester people, and just be nuisances. I mean, kids just being kids. They're just having fun and just playing around, but they're good. They're good kids. They're good. She's a good girl. He's a good. They're good.
Are there any other kids missing around here?
No.
Just yours then?
No children have gone missing for years now.
Okay. Where can we find you?
She writes down her address.
We'll go talk to Olivia now. I'll find you when we know more.
She sort of grabs your hand. Like, thank you so much. She points to the coins which are still on the table, unless you've swiped them, which sounds like something you would have done.
Yeah, Dorian's not
yet.
taking the money.
Yeah. I mean, she looks at it. They're all I've got. They're all I have.
I get my stuff and I just start heading to the market square. I don't really talk to any of you about it. It's just this is what Dorian's going to do.
Okay. What would you three like to do? Any other
I mean,
questions?
if you haven't collected the money,
Yeah, I haven't touched the money.
But I'd be like, thank you, and take the money. I don't follow you.
Was there any reason that they would have run away?
I hope not.
Well, think about it clearly. Come on. Anything happened? Any arguments?
No. They wouldn't have. She looks at you. Could you make an insight check? Yes.
15.
So she's obviously upset by the notion that they would run away. She's almost taken it as an accusation, but quite frankly, she doesn't care what you think. She knows that they wouldn't have run away. The way that she's taken aback by that statement, you're a bit like, oh, whoops.
You silly old fool.
As I see her being upset, I just place my hand on hers and we'll find them, don't worry.
Thank
Then
you.
get up and go.
Thank you so much. And she sort of parks herself back down. As you walk away, you can just hear like faint sort of crying. It's like the release is now sort of out of her system. So you head to the market square.
Yes.
Okay. Well, much like the waterfront market, the square is bustling with people going about their day. Although there appears to be mostly material goods on sale here, as opposed to the produce and the food down by the dock. Clothes and goods of all kinds are on sale, and though you surmise that finer goods will be in actual brick and mortar stores. The din of the market rings out, people selling their wares. You can hear haggling going on, people arguing over prices, trying to trade items for items, but it is just generally a marketplace. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do? So you're looking for Olivia, is what was mentioned. That's sort of what you've said you were going to do.
The red-haired girl, yeah.
Yes, is that what you're on the lookout
Yeah, because
for?
I'm first there. I have a cursory glance to see, looking for smaller people, children.
Okay.
Any...
Could you make a perception check for me, please?
No.
I mean, you've had several long rests.
I will,
so you've
yes.
been lucky.
Oh, wow. From 0 to hero. Perception will now bring me right up to 24.
Okay, fine.
They were two ends of the same coin.
You see that there's a number of kids moving around in little groups, some of them older, like teenagers, some of them younger. You do see a group of 4 children, one of which does match the description that has been given to you of Olivia. She's around about 10, 11 years old, bright red hair, big green eyes. Like talking to the rest, they're all like moving around, giggling and laughing, like pointing over here and there. But you can see that they're kind of almost on bated breath to what this Olivia is saying. Yeah.
Okay, I don't directly approach her, but what I do is I go up to near the children. My lute comes swinging out of my hand. I strum on it a few times, an almost comedic tune. And then, all of a sudden, it's there in midair playing, and I produce some balls.
Okay.
And I start juggling these balls.
Okay. Could you make a performance check for me,
Yes.
please?
I thought you were going to swing
Beat
out
one
of
in
the
the head.
Yes. I'm going to use my lucky. That's better. 14.
Okay. Yeah, you start playing along, and the girl's skipping along, very happy with herself. She starts whispering to some of her friends, it's very typical child, like mock whispers type thing. And you can see that they keep looking over to you and giggling whilst they do it.
Now, as soon as I've seen that I have caught their attention to at least some degree, one of the balls suddenly flies out of my hand and rolls right towards them, namely her, at her feet.
Okay. She watches it.
And the lute makes like a good string snapping sound.
Okay. As you begin to approach her, you see a sly grin across her face. She kicks it away, not towards you, like into the crowd. She starts laughing.
And I say, good morning. Is it morning?
Yeah, it's like 9 in the morning at this point. Like it's early.
I throw one of the balls to the child nearest her for her to catch.
She fumbles it. She wasn't expecting it. It's early in the morning.
And then I throw the other ball directly at Olivia to catch.
To catch, not like a...
Yeah, she having seen this, she starts laughing, but goes keeping an eye on you, and she catches it before it hits.
You're a sharp one, aren't you?
Who's asking?
Just a simple bard.
Yeah,
Trying
simple's right.
to entertain.
Trying is also right. She looks around at the others, and they're like,
So, you have many friends around here. Seems like you're the top girl.
yeah, I'm quite popular, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Dorian's the name.
My dad says not to talk to strangers. You've got a funny voice.
Well, I'm not really a stranger. I'm from the Benary, but
My dad said not to trust the Benary. They're all thieves and swindlers.
really?
Yeah.
Which, of course, you're not, I take it.
No, I'm 10.
You're 10. Well, you can get my ball then, can't you?
She looks at the others. Come on, guys. Let's go bug Mr. Crummold.
I say.
You're not my dad.
Where's Jenna?
Jenna?
Yeah. Your friend Jenna.
Who's asking?
Dorian.
Okay.
And if
Whilst
she
you're
starts to
talking.
walk, then I will cast something.
Whilst you're talking, I'm going to give you a nudge and sort of like gestures like behind, like to move around like in case they like leg it or something.
See, my suggestion, I then look down at Arcturia, who then wanders off to go and be with stand next to the children.
One of the other children sees Arcturia just strutting up. It's like, wow, the cat's a pirate! Olivia, have you seen this pirate cat? She's like, shut up. Don't care who you are, Dorian. We made a promise that we weren't going to tell any adults where Jenna and Peter are, all right? And a promise is a promise.
Okay, that's fair. You're absolutely right. I can't make you break a promise. That'd be a bad thing. A real bad thing.
Could you make an intimidation check?
That is 19.
Wow.
Yeah, she for a moment, she like takes a step back. You can see she almost shrinks a little bit.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, if you don't break a promise, you would have hidden children away. And the Fae don't like the children being hidden away. In fact, if you hide a child, it's said that the Fae will come and get you. Now, you can tell me where Jenna is and Peter, or we can talk about this somewhere else. And he's got a look on his face which is really uncomfortable for anyone. It's like he's really changed.
My guy, Gregor's moved over here to get some wine because he finds the whole thing very
I feel
strange.
very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, Olivia is just, you can see she's,
Now, come on now, you're a tough girl. Don't start crying on me. I tap her on the shoulder.
yeah, a few people have started to notice you like basically getting up in the grill of a small child.
Looking up in the grill, bear in mind.
But you just slapped a child around the shoulder.
Physically, I'm not being intimidating, but he is obviously being intimidating.
But no one's moving to intervene or anything at this point, but there's a few which are raising eyebrows and looking over in distant concern. Olivia. But it's supposed to be a surprise and we don't want to ruin it.
Well, surprises can be good. I'm just trying to look out for you. You don't want those Fae coming after you.
One of the other girls just tell him, Olivia, because otherwise he's going to send us away into the Fae and then we won't be able to go to the party. They wanted to get a present for Miss Marshfield. Her birthday's only a couple of days away.
That's
Yeah,
the mother.
Elle Marshfeld is, yeah, you're looking for Jenna and Peter
Okay.
Marshfeld.
We do know the mother, yes. She's worried, sick to death. Can you imagine what that must be like? And like Dorian's face goes really dark. Like they're being scolded in a really horrible way.
They just wanted to get her something nice.
I don't care what they wanted to do. Where are they?
They went to the old Atweller place. They're looking for something nice. Everyone stays away though because they say that it's scary, but I thought they were rich, so they've got nice things. So I said that they should go there because they've got nice things. They didn't want to keep buying her mum chocolate from Mr. Crummold. Mr. Crummold doesn't like me, but he really likes Jenna and Peter, and she just starts bawling her eyes out.
This is Olivia, right?
Yeah.
At this point, Arcturia starts moving around her legs, attempting to comfort this poor crying child.
You hear Arcturia just going, "What are you making me do?"
Just like, please stop.
So at that point, the atmosphere changes and I put my hand on her shoulder and I cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, she fails her save. Yeah, she's just immediately just like,
Yeah, you've done the right thing now. Okay? It wasn't so hard, was it? Can you imagine how her mother's feeling?
yeah, Miss Marshfeld is very nice.
Yeah. Now, you tell your friends to go and steal something from big, rich places. Probably not going to end up in a good way, is it?
It's not like anyone's there.
What do you mean?
My daddy said that they've got nice things, really nice things, and he wonders what's in there. But Mum says that she tells him off for even thinking about it. Like no one goes to the Atwheeler place. They've like not even the Atwheelers go there anymore. They've no one knows. Mummy said that there was a scandal. Is that a type of boat?
It's the
They were
type of thing when a bad thing happens with adults. And lots of other adults think it's really bad, but they did.
Oh.
Sounds like your ma's much smarter than your dad. So where is this place? You point me in the right direction and I'll let you kids go and scamper around.
She points back in the direction that you've come. It's at the very end of the port where all the rich houses are. We're not meant to be there.
All right. And when did Jenna and Peter go off to the place?
A few days ago. 2 days ago.
You've not seen them since? You've not heard anything?
We thought they were still looking for stuff, or they've gone home.
Well, they've not been home.
She looks down at her feet. Can we go now?
Of course you can. And I pick up the ball. Well, she's already holding the ball. I pick up the other ball and give it to her. Do you all go and play with these? They're magic. And the other one, which was rolled into the crowd, I used some prestidigitation to bring it back to my hand and then give it to one of the other children.
Yeah. Those three run off. Olivia is still looking at you. She takes a few steps back before turning and running off into the crowd. During this time of Dorian threatening a small child, what would you three like to do?
It was not a threat. I gave no verbal threat.
The Fae will come and steal you! I mean, you're not wrong, but...
So I presume we're close enough to have seen in her.
Well, I presume you would have gone in to catch up with Dorian as he's like approaching these children, and either moved up in earshot or appeared behind him whilst he's threatening a small child, and then there's just more adults.
Allegedly threatening.
I would have stayed at a distance, seeing and hearing everything that was going on, hence sending Arctoria off to go in.
I'm going
to... as my proxy.
Deduct myself some gold, because I think I've probably haggled over some wine and not haggled very well, and therefore have spent money on a bottle of wine.
You can deduct 8 gold pieces.
It's very bad haggling.
That's a vintage at least.
No, it's actually quite new and it's worth about a gold.
Yeah.
Have I, going through the market, seen any vendors
There are many vendors.
of interest to me and my
What specifically?
persuasion?
Make a perception check for me, please.
11.
11.
12.
12? Is it going to be 13 in a second?
No, it is 12.
Okay. You see a couple of like herbalists, alchemists, nothing really that makes you kind of, you've wandered past their stalls and gone, this is very basic. You know, this is you definitely don't want to be consuming that with that. You know, you're making all these comments and these people.
Amateurs, essentially, aren't they, Chef?
Yes, replies the dungeon master.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing of
Caliber.
nothing of caliber. Yeah, that's a great word for it. Yeah, nothing that you've really seen that makes you go yes, type thing. Anything else that anyone wants to do?
No, Dorian, having seen that we've all sort of regrouped, how much of it did you hear?
I think I probably would have heard enough to know
Yeah.
that there's they've been gone a couple of days.
Yeah, so he doesn't need to feel the need to explain. He heads off to this Atwell at the rich end of the pier, if you like, to find this mansion.
Okay, we all going along?
Yeah, big,
it's in a
abandoned, empty, rich mansion.
You'd head there even if there weren't missing children.
Exactly.
You head back to the dock and begin to make your way down to the southern end of the port, overlooking Jalen's Cove, the body of water that separates Traistan and the main western port of Kinburn across the way. And there stands a long row of fine townhouses, each 3 stories tall, high roofs, all made with fine wooden beams and brickwork, painted in a variety of colours, each with a high iron gate that stands around their grounds, beautifully maintained gardens beyond them, fountains. You can see people smoking the sticks on the balcony or out the front porch, all barring one. Red paint flakes from the walls of this lone house, revealing the bare cladding beneath, the iron on the gates beginning to rust from the sea air. The windows on the ground floor and the first are boarded up, and a balcony juts just above the entrance on the second. A large, lightly stained glass window takes up much of the frontage of an extension built into the roof itself. The grounds are overgrown with thick grass, tangled with knotted weeds and wildflowers. You can see a sign on the front, which has been carved away. It says you can make out Atwiller. The carving states murderers. Could you all make a perception check for me, please?
Oh. 7.
16.
5.
20.
You two are just a bit like, this is odd. You two see that there is an iron gate that covers the entrance to the house, to a small portico, ever so slightly ajar. You both also see what appeared to be movement in the window on the very top floor of the roof extension that sits right above the balcony of the second floor. You specifically, and only you notice that the lapping of the water, the breeze, the cry of the seagulls, they're all slightly quieter, as if you're standing in a space where sound is muffled and a little bit further away than it should be.
Dorian winces, and there's something not right around here.
What?
I said, well, exactly. The sound, it's not traveling around here. There's something wrong, and there's someone up there on that second floor too.
Yes, I think I just saw some movement up there as well. It's a rickety old place, isn't it?
It's not got a good feeling about it, that's for sure.
Sort of place you get lost. I don't want to alarm you, but I think I heard her say it's been a couple of days since they went missing.
That's right.
Yes, it's quite a long time.
Oh, they'd be tired and hungry for sure.
Hopefully that's it.
Exactly. And I actually draw my rapier and I just go walking right in.
So, you've noticed that at this end of town, where there are these nice houses, there are people walking on their way to market or on their way back from market. Round here, there's no one.
So people are actively like avoiding the house. Ooh,
Yeah.
Creepy.
very creepy.
We're in Creektown.
Is it haunted?
You'll find out. It depends. Do you want to go in?
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
going in. I'm going in.
So you on the gate, rust almost flakes onto your hand, and then you let go. The garden is filled with overgrown plants covering the fountain that stands in the middle.
So nasty weeds and stuff.
Yeah, it's not like there's nothing like poisonous or deadly here. You're just like, everything is fine. As far as I'm aware, we're not going to get eaten by anything.
Don't eat that one.
But don't eat that one. But it's just that horrible. You know when a place has been just abandoned and it is just overgrown. There's no care, no maintenance, nothing. Hence why the iron gates are rusty. It's on the seafront.
Yeah.
Everyone else maintains everything. It's just been
Falling
left
apart.
to ruin.
You see, Gideon kind of likes it. He likes seeing things return to nature. He's not fussed. He's not like, ooh, creepy. He's sort of like, ooh.
Dorian looks at all of the wild vegetation and the weeds, and for a moment, because you're right next to me as we've gone through, it's almost a look of vile disgust in his face. It's just for a moment, and he sees he can contain it, but then he sees for the purpose and goes straight for the door.
The iron gate of the door is, as I say, ajar, rust eating away at its hinges. And walking past the overgrown fountain, suddenly you hear a almost as if it's trying to pump water.
Dying person.
The trees sway and move. Could you all make a perception check for me, please?
Ooh!
20.
14.
21.
Cool.
7.
I didn't even need to ask, given that your initial reaction on rolling the dice was, ugh. You two see that as the trees are moving, they're almost slightly parting and creating a natural alleyway that seems to lead towards the front door.
Upon noticing this, I'm just going to reach into my little pouch and poop.
Okay.
Get one of my little vials. Well, I look to you and say, this is an unnatural place. We
You're
need to
activating rage now?
ceremonially.
Okay. So
Yes.
because something happens when you activate your rage is all.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do that yet.
You're like this, you're like... Getting
Also, I
ready.
can't speak when I rage, so I'll...
You can speak. Yeah, you can speak.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you...
I never have.
Right, okay. I'm pretty sure you have.
I will, yeah.
Do you see that too? The trees moving, or is that just me? You speak to trees. You're a tree man.
I don't speak to trees.
But you did see that too, yes?
Yes, this isn't quite right, is it?
That's good. I wondered how cheap that wine was. This doesn't feel good, does it?
Dorian puts his mask on.
You're looking around at this point. I'm based on your movement around. Suddenly very misty.
It's like gone overcast kind of thing. Does anyone remember a storm rolling in this morning? Or any kind of odd cloud cover at the port?
No.
You are at high summer. You expect storms during the nighttime?
But
During the morning?
This place is cursed.
there's something deeply wrong going on here.
It's a curse.
What would you like to do?
And the house.
Yeah.
I've noticed nothing at this point, so I'm just walking happily to the house.
There's a front door.
There is a front door, yes. So there.
If we look up, can we see anything in the windows that we saw?
No, so the all the windows on the ground and the first floor are boarded up. There is a balcony on the second floor. There's a few windows up at the top, like I say, stained glass windows. Actively looking for something, you don't see anything.
Well, I'm just trying to see if I spotted what we saw just outside the gate.
Make a perception check.
Was it at the balcony?
It was above the balcony. There's a window just above the balcony.
22.
You look intently at that area, and you see the window itself opening ever so slightly in the wind. And when I say in the wind, there is no wind.
There's also no wind, and the trees are moving as well. And
Correct.
I've noticed none of this.
Dorian's walked right up to the door now and has tried to push it open with his rapier, to see if it's open or not.
It is unlocked.
Yeah.
You both noticed that the door was slightly ajar.
Slightly ajar, right,
anyway.
yeah, exactly.
The door groans when opened, and inside you see a small entrance foyer. Double doors at the end, a large portrait of a man and a woman hanging above it.
Take a step in.
You three are outside?
I'm going to walk in behind.
You walk in with him? You two?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I'm heading.
So you're all just going in, just straight up? Okay.
Yeah!
So you went in first.
Yeah.
The three of you, you see Dorian enter, he walks in, he looks up, and he walks through the double doors. You have not done this yet. But the three of you join him as he stands in the hallway awaiting your arrival.
But they saw me walk straight
They
through
saw
the double
you
doors,
walk up through the double doors, but upon,
which is where these portraits are.
but upon entering, you are in the foyer.
Okay, so I'm standing there. So then
And
you
whoever went
three-
in second would have seen the exact same thing. So if you went in second, you two would have seen Acacia walk through the double doors, but then as you've entered, you see both of them are still in the foyer.
Okay.
So who comes in next? You?
Yeah,
What do you say to me?
I've noticed absolutely.
You've seen that.
You saw me.
You've seen that.
But so what happens is you've walked through, and I'm still standing there actually when you've seen me just walk through the double doors. So for you, it's like either your eyes aren't working or I've teleported back.
What is going on?
I turn over my shoulder and look at you. What do you mean?
I just saw you walk off
Walk off? Where?
through the doors,
I've not been through the doors. I've just stepped in here.
but I literally just saw it.
I mean, you can't see Dorian's expression past his mask, but... And then at this point, who else has come through?
Are you next or am I next?
Yeah.
So you almost like walk into us expecting
Yeah.
no one to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely. Yeah, literally, as you cross the threshold, you can't.
I stumble back as you start. What the hell are you doing? I'm standing here.
You shouldn't be.
I now walk in, bump into all of you. I'm like, why are we all running off? Wait, what? What? Where? You all ran straight away as you came in here. You went straight through those doors.
There's no such thing.
What is going on?
The house would make you believe that.
Sort of place you could get lost for a few days, no?
That's where it wants us to go. And I look at the double doors. What's in the entrance?
So the entrance hall is quite plain. As I say, there is a double door at the end. There is a large portrait of a man and a woman hanging above it, and around them are nearly 3 dozen You know, when you get a picture frame, there's like 2 pictures in there, like all dotted around the side of the double doors.
So the double doors are the only exit and entrance.
Correct.
Can I search just have a cursory glance of this foyer?
Yeah.
Search of the walls.
I'd like to do the same.
Just to see if there's anything else.
You don't see anything. You see double doors in front of you, picture, the nearly 2 dozen other pictures. You see a wall, you see a wall, you see a wall behind you. You just have the 2 doors in front of you.
Has it been like picked clean? Or are there lots of, like, has it been
It's just an entrance foyer.
But is there anything like, are there like candlesticks or nice things?
Straight
It's
on
just
it.
an entrance foyer.
Fair enough.
Just an entrance foyer, 1 set of double doors and 3 walls. Outside of the portrait, there's nothing else in there apart from yourselves.
Then
Okay, we'll take a look at the
So
portraits.
the man has jet black hair in a short style, goatee, sharp features, sky blue eyes. The woman is a half elf with long flowing blonde hair. She has kind features, a soft smile. Her eyes are also blue, just much deeper in colour. They look to be in their mid to late 50s, both wearing fine clothes, an immaculate white suit with a red shirt and a flowery cravat on the man. The woman in what seems to be a silk blue dress. Around them in these 2-part pictures, the left side of each picture has the picture of a small child. The right side has an adult. All of them have a name underneath them. Some of them are empty on the right-hand side. The adults in these pictures all appear to be maybe no older than 18, 19.
They will have names.
They all have names, yeah.
Are there any that stand out?
Nope, it's just a collection of 2 dozen names. Do not make me come up
Do they
with
have
24
the
names.
do they all share a family name?
They don't. They are all named. Well, some of them have a shared name, but the vast majority are different.
Interesting.
Reasonable sense of style from their attire. Would have been quite the house back in the day.
If we move around, like their eyes follow us.
Not that you notice.
Okay.
And do I hear anything at the door?
No.
All right, I try and open the door then.
Yeah, it opened. Through the double doors is a wide hall that runs the width of the house. Directly in front of you are a set of stairs leading up. There are a set of double doors before you on the far wall, one of them slightly open. There are 2 sets of doors to the right, one against this right-hand wall, the other one doubles back, so leading into a room at the front. Dust hangs thick in the air. You can see layers of it upon a coat rack draped with cloaks that hang next to the door on the right.
We've not gone through the door yet, we just opened it.
Just opened it.
I have a suggestion if we're going to go through the door. That we all hold hands, so what happened before doesn't happen again, and we don't walk into each other.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
And that way I know all of you are you.
Oh,
Right.
fair enough.
Yeah, very well, a bit unorthodox, but you know, it's quite an unorthodox place, isn't it?
Yes, fair enough.
Well, which door do you want to go in? There's only one that's been opened. Could
I
be
have a
assumed that the
feeling
kids
we're
went
going
that
to be
way.
shown the way to go. I think we just go.
Well, I'll walk through.
Do you take someone's hand?
Yes, yeah, holding.
He walks through. You see him walk through and head towards this open door.
Yeah.
Or, okay. You move along with him. None of you see him move off in a different direction or realize that he's there and actually walk into him. It is just a normal house.
Well, that method worked.
But we'll have to find out what lies beyond this in the next episode. Thank you for joining us as they have entered the Atwilla house. What horrors will they find in there if they find
Horrors?
any horrors at all? We'll find out, as will you, in the next episode. But until that time comes, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you in the next one.